What is up, guys? Welcome to my 11th tutorial, I think, on Monk Dev Tutorials. And in this tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to add how to add Mirror VR to your Gorilla Tag fan game, or make a Gorilla Tag fan game using Mirror VR, because it's kind of like, I think it'd be easier to make a new project. Pretty much. Um, yeah, it's pretty simple. It just takes a little bit. Uh, but yeah. So, if you don't know what Mirror VR is, I linked in the description the coded immersions.gitbook.io Mirror VR, so the documentation. And then you can look through that. But really, to start off, we can look through this while our game's being made. If we go to Unity Hub, if we're going to make a new project, but before, we want to make sure that we're using the correct Unity version. So the Unity version I use is Unity 6.3.3 F1. So if you don't have that, go to installs, install editor, and uh Unity 6.3, any like on any of these should work really. I just use anything above 6.3 is what I use, like 6.3 and above. Um, this just came out. I'm not using this, but you can if you want. So make sure you have that installed. You can pause the video while that installs. Yeah. And a new project. Make sure we're using that Unity version. And I'll just name this Mirror Monk. So I'll make tutorials on Mirror VR using this project and create project. And then that'll start compiling everything. So, we can read this. Mirror VR is a wrapper for mirror networking that adds easy VR support. It includes features such as names, colors, lobbies, cosmetics, banding, reporting, and more. Uh, so I guess it's better than Photon VR, which Photon is another uh, type of networking, but they have VR support, and I don't know how to yeah. But like Photon, for instance, Photon only has one server, and you can only have a max of 20 players in that server. But this has 64 player servers and an infinite amount of servers, which is pretty good. I think they're going for like 200 player servers, which is pretty big. Um, Obviously, I don't think anyone really needs 200 players in their servers, but it can make your servers bigger if you, yeah. Um, yeah, but they also link the GitHub, or we'll be following along on the documentation. So getting started, we'll be following along on all of this. If your project is already made, you could start, I guess. So that's importing. Let's wait for that. Well, it's still building for some reason. But now we're in our scene. Um, if you're new to Unity, uh, then I would use Photon. But if you've been doing this for a little while and you need better, like, you need it to be higher quality or whatever, then I would use Mirror VR. But yeah, to start off, so this is in full screen. We're gonna go to Edit, Project Settings, XR Plugin Management, and install XR Plugin Management. Okay, so once that is installed, we're gonna want to click Open XR. We click OpenXR and not Oculus because we're going to be installing the MetaQuest like SDK thing, which will like allow you to have like your username set to your Oculus username, which I would recommend having that, so then you don't have to worry about people like don't have to worry about like banning people who put like profanity and stuff as their username. It can just be set to their meta username, and then that's just what I do now, pretty much. So then if it brings you to project validation, uh, or it doesn't, I'd click project validation and it'll say like fix. I'd just click fix all maybe twice. So then OpenXR is checked. OpenXR. This is the like PC and Android. Click on the PC. Render mode. Change it to multipass. Enabled interaction profiles. Click this plus. I've always done Valve Index and Oculus Touch, which I'll just do that today. I've never used a Valve Index, but I guess just put it on there anyways. Um, yeah. And then Android render mode, change it to multipass, and enable. There's no Valve Index thing on here, so just click Oculus Touch, and then that should be good. So then we're gonna want to go to Window Package Management, Package Manager. We can put this in the full screen. It'll bring us to this. We're gonna click this little plus right here. Install package from git.url. And we're going to type in com.unity. I'll also put it on the screen here if you can't, like yeah, com.unity.xr.interaction.toolkit. So I'll repeat that, com.unity.xr.interaction.toolkit. And over here we'll click the install button. Sorry if you can hear my chair squeaking. I don't know why it's still doing that. So that'll install. If you also need any help, you can ask in Monk Sub, but I'll get into more of that at the end of the tutorial. So, if it didn't bring you to this, go down to XR Interaction Toolkit, and there'll be a samples thing, and we have all these things, all these like things to import. Starter assets, just click import, and then we're good with the XR Interaction Toolkit. Almost done. Alright, it may bring you to this. I'd click fix all. And good. Then you might get that error about the Text Mesh Pro. We'll fix that in a second. So then, let's go to our assets, samples, XR interaction, those numbers, starter assets, all these folders. Let's go presets. And then we have these like Among Us electrical boxes. On all of these, you click it, and then there's an add button at the top. So we're gonna add a snap provider, add grab move, add controller, add grab move, add controller, add dynamic move, add continuous turn, and add continuous move. Just like that. And then we're done with that. We can close these folders. Then we have here. Now we go to edit project settings, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, preset manager. Then it'll bring us to all of these. So then preset where it says XRI default left controller, go to that one and type left, and then right below it will be the right, and type in right, all lowercase. And then we can close out of that. Now we can import our rig. I might make a physics rig. If this gets like a bunch of likes and stuff, I'll actually make a physics rig. But yeah. So then import your real locomotion. Because that's assume that's what you're using. And if it gives you this, just click yes, or it'll just automatically import. And then, yep, it may bring you back to project validation, where it says something about TMP. We'll fix that in a moment. So resources, Gorilla prefabs, Gorilla rig, and then I'm just gonna make a quick plane. Actually, I'll just do a cube actually, because I don't care. Actually, it'll take a second to load. Just like that. And now we have a little plane. So if we enter play mode, it may take a second. I'd like to just check for some reason. Maybe bring us back to project validation. So our Gorilla rig is all good to go. Um, and then you can just delete main camera, and then go to your Gorilla rig and XR rig, remove this component, and add an XR origin, and then dragging Gorilla player to camera floor offset and main camera into camera, and then tracking origin mode to floor, and then that should be good. And then you have this nice also file save. Let me make sure we do that. And yeah. So then now we can just follow the documentation. So bring you to this, click on getting started, and it will have this. So it says newtonsoft.json. Uh, I think this is like with the saving, so I think some games use player preferences for saving. I think this does like better, like player data, I guess. So I'd control C on this, and then it says go to add package by name. So we're gonna go to window, package management, package manager, plus add package by name, and control V and install. And then that might take a moment to install. I just saw something new going here though. What that is. Bring us right back to project validation. Um, in, JSON. Alright, we have that. Good to go. And then if you want, you can just click the plus 3D Object Text Mesh Pro if it's giving you that error, and import TMP Essentials. Uh, and then I just can just delete this so we don't get that error anymore. So we're good with that. And then, yep, it says the recommended use version for MirrorVR is Unity 6.3. Yeah, but if you're using like 2022, you can't like build and stuff. Like that's the issues I had. Um, yeah. So first, download the latest version of Mir. So we're gonna go here, MirrorVR. Click on the MirrorVR Mirror Unity package, and we'll wait for that to install for a moment. And then we'll drag this into our project, and then it might say this install / upgrade all. If it doesn't allow you to, then that's fine. And import. So then we have imported, or that's still loading, but we've imported Mirror into our game, and we can close out of that. So then install EOS transport. So we can go here. Actually, have never actually like gone to install this, but we can click this. Give me a second. This is never actually done this. So then after Mirror is installed, and your install EOS transport. So I mean, okay, here we go. We got assets. I was so confused. All right, click this, and then you got to open this up. I got confused. So then that will install, and yeah, but this will use Epic Games Online Services EOS. Um, yeah. So then once that installs, we can drag this into our project. Okay, we got a thing here. URP conversion, just go ahead and, okay, that'll load. Our file, drag that into there, and that will install upgrade, import. Now we have the mirror folder, and it is loading. Alright, all good. So then close out of that. And then finally the Meteor VR package, click the thing, and then Meteor VR this. And then we can drag this into there, install slash upgrade, import, and now that is your. Now I'm pretty sure we're just getting to like the harder parts. Um, but yeah, so we should be able to just close out of that. And this was compiling. So now we can like set up. It's basically it looks similar to the like Photon uh network manager or whatever, Photon manager, whatever it's called. I haven't used Photon in a while. Um, yeah, this took me a long time to figure out because as soon as I purchased the thing, then yeah. Okay, so once your Mir VR package is installed, uh, go into your project assets, Mir VR, and pretty sure we go to prefabs, yep, and drag in your network manager. See, it's similar to the Photon one, Photon manager. You drag in your head and your app keys. There's more to this, though, which we're gonna set up. But yeah, I like to drag my network manager to the top and prefab. Actually, you could probably, you don't, I don't think you had to make it like a prefab. But yeah. So then we can just set up, put our main camera in. So our head, main camera, left hand, left hand, right hand, right hand. And if we scroll down, there's like a HUD on the corner of our screen. Uh, you can like set what you want the server to be set as. So I'm just gonna make yeah, mirror monk. And then you can say your max players through just that server. And then if you can do some more editing right here. So random username, I can just do monk, and then I don't actually use the usernames. And then the room limit, you can set it to a max of 64, but I'll just do like 20. And then all of that should be good. You shouldn't have to edit any of this. Um, yeah. So then now I'm pretty sure we get to like the harder stuff. So now we're gonna go to scroll down to step 4, Epic Games Developer Portal. The only issue with things is this tutorial is gonna be long because it just takes like so long to like do stuff. So we're gonna click Create Product. Product name, whatever your game name is. So mine will be Mirror Monk. Just like that. So then that will be creating, and then we can also go down to here. Actually, no, just ignore that. So then we'll wait for our project or product to create. So now that's created, click on it, and then it'll bring us to here. So let's go back to the documentation. So once you've hit create product button, name your product, we already did that. So then product settings, so go here, product settings, and we're going to want to go to clients, and we're going to add a new client policy. So we're in product settings, clients, scroll down, add new client policy, and we'll do whatever your game name is, and then policy, and then policy type, peer-to-peer. Actually, no, it's custom. We create a custom one. So then, achievements, we have all these, so let's go back here, and it'll give us a video, user required, we'll want to check that off, so we can just watch this for a moment, you know. We watch that for a second. Everything in the leaderboards, lobbies, achievements. Player data storage. Player reports. Sanctions. Stats. Access. Data storage. And voice. Okay, so we looked at that. User required. Achievements, check this. We'll do everything and achievements. Connect, nothing. Leaderboard. Put all these. Lobbies, check. Everything on lobbies. Player data storage. I'm sure I've missed something, but honestly, yeah. Player reports, check. And do those two. Sanctions, check. I'm pretty sure it's just those three. Let's check that one more time to make sure we do everything correctly, of course. Alright, yeah, we're good. And then stats. Okay, first we'll go to title storage, because I don't know everything we have to do for stats. And then stats. The first, everything for stats. Okay. And stats, everything. And add a new client policy. So then we have that. Add new client. Client name. We'll do mirror monk. We can click that and change policy to client. Client policy. Mirror monk policy. And create new client. So then it'll bring us to all of that. And then Epic account services and create an application. Permissions. Okay. So then Epic Online Services, and then Epic Account Services, create application. I guess I don't think we have to do anything with that. Permissions, and enable these three. Save changes. And that actually we should be just done with that now. Yeah. Good. Go back to product settings. SDK credentials, and we're gonna want to put all of our credentials. We're almost done with the basic setup, so that's good, guys. Yeah. So go to Epic Account Services and go to product settings, SDK, downloading credentials, and we have all our product IDs. Don't steal my information. So, product ID, we can just copy that, go back to our project, and network manager, product name, name it to your uh, thing. So we can click this button right here to show. Don't share this with anyone, because they can steal your stuff. And then product ID, we can paste it because we just copied it. I like to check all these. Sandbox ID, so we're gonna want to go back, get our sandbox ID, go here, paste, deployment ID, find our deployment ID, and then client ID, copy that, paste, client secret, paste, and encryption key. So we get all of these. Getting started, go to this website. At the very bottom, there's a link. And we'll want to set this to 32, generate, and copy. And then we have that. And that was good. That, I don't know how long that took, but now we have the basic setup complete, which is really good. Yeah, so now we're using Oculus and Steam, so there's more setup to do. On the side, you can click, this isn't open already, you can click MetaQuest setup or just click this one, and it brings us to this. So now, we're going to want to go to Oculus Developer Dashboard and log in. For some reason, it's like shut off. So we're going to want to create a new app and name this Mirror Monk or whatever your game name is. And then Horizon Store, create. And then it'll create a project. We can, oh, it's loading. Okay, no, okay. Yeah. So Mirror Monk, we're good here. So then we're gonna want to go to requirements, data use checkup, and start. And then teens, adults 13 plus, continue, and confirm. Don't click anything else except for that. And then we can go back here. So, install the Meta XR Core SDK. So this will bring us to the Unity Assets Store. You want to click Add to My Assets and continue with Google, anything, whatever your account is, whatever. So then open in Unity Editor, and then it'll bring us to this and install. Alright. So then that's installing, and then let's see, and the Meta XR platform SDK. I think that's what it said. And okay, we already have it. That's still installing. Alright, and then add this one to your assets if you haven't already, and then open Unity Editor. And it does not let us install until the other one is fully installed. So then, when your Meta XR Core SDK is installed, if it wouldn't let you import the Meta XR Platform SDK, this one, then just let it do that. Why is it taking so long? Should not. Look, you guys wouldn't even have to watch this if I knew how to edit videos, but I don't know how. Besides, like, the first and end of the video, or beginning and end. So it might give you something like this. Just click yes. Now we have our meta window thing. Every meta is all set up. Now go to Meta Platform SDK and install. Make it something like this. We can actually fix that in a second. And honestly, the rest of the tutorial isn't that hard. I feel like, I don't know, adding the Meta XR Platform SDK is probably one of the harder tutorials, or harder parts, I guess. That's pretty simple, but I don't know. I just don't like it. Yes, then that'll install. Let's go back to here, and we're gonna add our client. So we'll have like in the Unity editor, you know, when you click the play button on Photon, you have like a player. That's basically gonna be similar, like just like that. So like, yeah. Um, so then go here and go to Meta Platform, Edit Settings, bring us to this. Then we have this, and then go here. Uh, go to here, Development API. So then it's going to give us these. We have app IDs right here. Don't show them to anyone. So our app ID and app secret, don't show that to anyone. I'm going to blur these out actually. But yeah. So then Control C on that one. And then we have our app ID, so we'll bring that here. And right here, we're going to paste that into there. Paste both, like just the app ID into Oculus Rift and MetaQuest, whatever. Click this little button right here too. And then let's go back to the docs. So then, yeah, good. We did that. Then, I guess the fun part, test users. So we're gonna create a test user. Test user, add test user. Username, uh, whatever you want your thing to be. So I guess I'll put monk. And then email, we could do monk. And then password, whatever you want your password to be. So I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then pin, whatever you want your pin to be. User count 1, and submit. I already have some 2 test users, so I just won't use that. So then, we'll go to test user data and copy. Okay, data breach. Ooh. Username and email, so we're going to want to copy our email that it gave us. User email, paste, and then type in your password, and then that should be good. And then log in, and it should use those credentials for that. That should be good. I think I forgot. I think you do click this one. And yeah. Um, yeah, we click both of those. So we did all that. Now, this is the annoying part. If it's your first time doing this, then yeah. So user ID, we're gonna add and click this and do peer-to-peer networking. Find that. And description, we don't have a description, but the coded immersions or whatever gave us one. So then we already did that earlier. So then let's see, user ID. So then it gives us a description at null number 7. We are using user ID to authenticate with Epic Games to use their free relay services. So we can just copy that and then paste that into the description, click the thing, and add to request, and then user profile, and do peer-to-peer networking, go here, and then find on number 7 towards the bottom, we are using user profile to authenticate with Epic Games to use their free relay services. Then Control C, go back, Control V, and then add to request. So then that's all good, and then I go to the bottom, submit request. Now, one of the hard parts. So do you have any data processors or service providers, including your own companies? So we're gonna click yes. Lists them. Do Epic Online. Oh, make sure you do capitals. Epic Online Services. And then this, to provide, let's see, to provide game services, that's what I'd do. And then list the countries, just do United States of America, if you're in there, or do UK. Person, they're responsible for all Meta Horizon user data. Epic Online Services. Country it's located, United States or United Kingdom or wherever you're at. No. None of the above. And then that's all completed. And then next. Okay, next. Click this, submit for review. And then, this should be done pretty fast. I'm pretty sure AI does it. Checks all of that. So, we should be good with that. So we did all this. Good, good, good. And then we're gonna go back to the Epic Online thing. Product settings, identity providers, add an identity provider, and do Oculus. Description. I'm pretty sure you can just do your game. So I'll just do like Mirror Monk. Yeah, and then environment quest app ID. Let's go back here, development API, and copy our app ID, Control C, and then Control V, and then app secret. Go back here and copy our app secret, Control C, and Control V. Save and exit. Now we have an identity provider. And we go back to the documentation. Identity provider, good, good. And now sandbox. So we'll go back here, go to sandboxes, live, identity provider, and Oculus. Set this to Mirror Monk. And then out. Good, good. Okay. Yeah. We have fully completed the setup. If you're using Steam, I've never used Steam, so, yeah. And it may not work on the first time, so we're just gonna try it out. It may take like 10 seconds to load into your game. I think they're working on that. It takes like 15 seconds or something right now, 10 to 15. And they're going to cut it down like 2 to 3, which you can see in like a sneak peek or something like that, which will be very nice. So then, do this, and okay, it works. Okay, so initialized, and then once you have to wait for it's initialized, and then it'll set our lobby. We can join or create lobby, and our player loads in. clear any of these. And now we've fully completed the Mirror VR thing. So that's pretty cool. And that's how you set up Mirror VR for your growth like Fangam. Uh, I'm gonna be posting some more tutorials on like some basic stuff. So if you go to Monk's Hub, go to Monk's Library, and we have Mirror Player Colliders, Offline Rig, Player Tracker, uh, no cosmetics yet. I have not been able to figure that out for some reason. And then also colors. There's a mirror version of that for that. And then there'll also be like I'm gonna make like a computer from your VR and stuff, a custom computer. And yeah. So if you need any help, you can I'll also link their Discord server, which you can get other things from there too. This is if you need help, I would go to here first. They have a help channel. Look through all these if your error has been fixed or not. And yeah. So now I'm gonna go edit this video. I think I'm the first person who's ever made a tutorial on this. Um, which is cool, I guess. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking through it on this tutorial. It's been, I think a good hour. I'm gonna try to cut it down with all the loading and stuff. But thank you for watching, and yeah, goodbye.